Blog number 85, the Two-Pronged Security Breach. There is a little-known but highly vicious viral attack going around, and in 2003 my personal life was hacked by this ataxia worm. The beauty of this kind of attack, I know, using the word beauty to describe any facet of ataxia is difficult at the very best. And as I write this, I have a little bile rising in my throat. But the beauty is that it is able to do its destruction right out in plain sight. I mean, it doesn't even have to hide and slink its way around in the shadows. But ataxia gets away with worming itself into secure systems because no one has figured out yet how to stop it. How's it getting in, you ask? Is there a back door that allows ataxia to infect the host? No, the problem is 100% of the time is that the attack comes in the form of a neurological phishing scheme. This is just the beginning of the problem, though. A technician or a neurologist has to figure out first how the worm gained access in the first place. Secondly, they have to figure out which part of the system was vulnerable and responded once the worm was in. As soon as it gets accepted into the system, it expands itself throughout and begins to really cause havoc. Not long after the ataxia worm has been identified, though, the infected system will start to lag, and then it'll really start to perform sluggishly. This system-wide infection is only the first stage of the attack, though. Ataxia, it would seem, is not content with just scrambling the inner workings of the host. Oh no. I said it was a two-pronged attack because ataxia also goes after your identity, to try and tarnish your good name, your reputation, and to trash your well-established credit. Ataxia is a viral worm and an identity thief. And since ataxia uses a two-pronged mode of attack, I will be from this point on referring to the viral bug of ataxia as the scourge. There are, unfortunately, numerous ways in which the scourge manifests itself once it gets past the cerebellum firewall, and it takes on many different forms. Although as of this date, there exists no way in which my affected system can be completely cleansed of every trace of the scourge, luckily there are steps that I can take to help ensure and maintain a positive outlook, and to help things run just a little bit smoother. So number one is a sense of humor. I find this to be an invaluable first line of defense because laughter is something that I can control. Not ataxia, but me. My attitude is that I will keep poking fun at the scourge, and when he has had enough, he knows where the door is, and I'm hoping that he will get fed up and leave. You know, that wouldn't hurt my feelings in the least. Number two is a proper and realistic understanding of who I am. In a lot of ways, I am the same person that I was before the scourge found me. Sure, I'm a little older, wiser, and just a wee bit more mature, but my basic personality is the same. I still have the same emotions. I still like the same foods. I still have the same desires. I still have the same capacities to show love, compassion, and to extend friendship. So the bottom line here is that the scourge will change us all physically, but it will also go after and try to change us at the very core of who we are. It didn't have my permission to infect me physically, but in every other way, it does need my permission, and I'm sorry, but I'm not giving it. Number three, actively seeking and giving support. I believe that we are not created to isolate ourselves, but to share ourselves with others. And dealing with the scourge certainly falls into this belief. I didn't move in any significant way towards a positive life lived in the midst of ataxia until I sought out other people whose struggles were like mine. Because there is a strength that comes from sharing our frustrations and victories with others and hearing theirs. We can learn about ourselves and see truths about dealing with our personal ataxia that we may have never seen before and probably wouldn't have come to understand on our own. I embrace the support as being a necessary part of who I am. Number 4. Being honest with myself and others about every part of me. One of the lessons that I learned a long time ago is that denying the existence of ataxia was not helpful. Doing so was not reducing the problem, but it was only magnifying the problem. I discovered that I needed to give myself permission to be me in the area of the scourge. This may sound obvious to some people because really, who else would I be? But if you are dealing with the scourge like I am, or any other personal thorn that's wormed its way into your system, then hopefully you've come to understand, like I did, that we don't get to pick and choose what baggage in life that we have to drag around with us. These things want to weigh us down and hopefully stop us from making any more progress. I found that the best way to combat the scourge that introduced itself into my life was to deny it the power to stop me or shape my outlook on life. And by the way, a thought just occurred to me that the scourge is really baggage. So then I'm going to check it in the next time I fly anywhere and hope that the airline will lose my luggage. Anyway, those examples are some of the ways that for me work to help to keep the scourge at bay. I would really like to hear from others about those things that you find helpful. So please leave me a comment.